Yesterday, Sayadaw expounded the Pali expression, the immersement sati idam hoti. When the corresponding cause is present, the corresponding effect takes place. That is the law of the causality or conditionality. Sankata Dhamma Niyama. That's the law. No one can make changes in that. So that type of law is called in Pali Paticca Samuppada, the dependent origination. Yesterday, Sayadaw took the example of a tree, how the tree grows bigger and taller. And the same way the Kilesa Vada, Karma Vada, Vipaka Vada, they turn round and round according to the cause and the law of cause and effect. When there is Kilesa, mental defilements, there is Karma, the volitional activities. And the mental defilements includes the ego belief, atta, and the pride, ignorance, delusion, craving, and so on, which generates the karma, the volitional activities, and which in turn results in the resultant phenomena. So it is like a circle turning around and around. So when there is the corresponding cause, then the corresponding effect definitely takes place. So these three, the circle or cycle, out of these three, the key one is the Kilesa cycle. So first of all, because of ignorance and delusion, we have craven for the human blissful life or the human world. So these sensual pleasures in human life activate or motivate our sensual desire based on the ignorance and delusion. And after that, we may expect higher rebirth, celestial beings, or the Brahma. Actually, these lives are not secure. It can be anytime turned down into the lower life. But we always think of them in opposite way. We always take them, we always analyze with a false knowledge. And we thought they were very blissful lives. Based on this wrong view and ignorance and delusion and craving, sometimes we perform wholesome deeds when we have a wholesome mindset, when our way of thinking is wise. So when we have wise ways of thinking, we may perform wholesome deeds just like dana and sila. As a result, we may be reborn in the higher life, human or devas, celestial beings. Or we may practice jhana and then we may reborn in a higher Brahma world. But these rivers and lives are, as mentioned earlier, not secure, not safe. It always opens to the lower rivers. But the worst is when our way of thinking is not wise, unwise way of thinking or unwholesome mindset encourages us to perform unwholesome evil deeds. Then definitely we reborn in the lower life, in the woeful life. So these are cause and effect, the law of cause and effect. So where there is a corresponding cause, there is a corresponding the result. That's the law. Until you practice Vipassana meditation, fulfilling 3 trainings, Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, then you cannot develop the Eightfold Noble Path. You won't follow Eightfold Noble Path. Then you will be definitely going the samsara around and around. So sometimes you may not know what are the right path to the liberation, or sometimes you have no chance to practice Vipassana, to follow the right path. Or sometimes you have the chance of practice meditation, but you lazy. You don't want to practice. So for whatever reason, you fail to practice, then there will be no way for you to escape from samsara, the saga or the rebirth. So just as mentioned yesterday, a tree grows bigger and taller, develop and thrive thanks to the sun, oxygen, water, and so on. As long as the tree is supported with these necessities, the tree will grow bigger and taller and thrive. So how to make that tree dry? So we need to learn. Sayadaw now would like to explain how to stop the cycle or the three factors. So as mentioned repeatedly, so when you have limited defilement, there will be definitely karma, and which will be followed by the vipaka, the resultant phenomena. As long as you won't follow the right path, Eightfold Noble Path, this struggle will keep on going on and on. So just like a tree, as long as it is provided with the water, oxygen, sun, the tree will grow bigger, taller, and then thrive. So it's the same way. So if you cannot develop the 3 training, then this cycle will turn around and around, just like a tree, the blue and blossom and the bear fruits. So when the mental defilements start, then the karma, the volitional activities, will no longer become powerless, and then the resultant phenomena cannot follow. So in this way, this cycle can be started. So there is a Pali expression, imasme asati idam ahodi. When there is a so and so causes not exist, then there is so and so effect no longer powerful. That's the law. Now Sayadaw want to give you an example, scientific explanation according to the botanical terms. So there is 3 botanical tasks, the cleaning, tending, and gardening. So according to this method, when we want to make a tree dry, we have to strip the bark of the tree about 2 feet above the ground, and we have to take it up all the bark around on the tree. Then the trees, we have no more access to the swine and water or swine and sap. So then the tree definitely bound to die, bound to be dry, so because it cannot get the food from the bark. Normally trees take their food through the bark. When the bark take it out, then tree definitely will dry and die. So in the same way, when we want to dry, we want to make the samsaric, the seed, dry out, then how and what we should perform. Sayadaw, you would like to explain now. So where the kilesa, the mental defilements coming in. So as a human being, we want to enjoy the sensual pleasure. So we take human life as a sensual, a type of bliss. So that's the mental defilement, the sensual desire coming into our mind through the senses. From seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. From these senses, the mental defilements coming in. So these seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, these senses are actually resultant phenomena. They take place when the conditions are met. So they are called resultant phenomena, vipaka, the consequential vipaka. The principal fundamental resultant phenomena is mind and body, which took place at the moment of the rebirth consciousness. So from then on, throughout our life, we encounter the phenomena like seeing, hearing, smelling. They constantly occur to us. These are all resultant phenomena in life. So these seeing, hearing cannot be called wholesome or unwholesome, evil or moral. They cannot be mentioned that way. That's why these seeing, hearing, etc. are called the abhyagata, the unmentionable as a wholesome or unwholesome. They are just the consequential, the resultant phenomena. They took place when the conditions are met. That's why they are called abhyagata. So, if we are mindless, we have no mindful, then we are bound to attach to those phenomena, the resultant phenomena, seeing, hearing, etc. So, what we have to do with those phenomena is we have to observe them the moment they take place, the moment they occur to us. Unless we cannot do that way, unless we can do that way, definitely kilesa, mental defilement, will increase. So as long as we cannot observe these phenomena, then we have to suffer the mental defilement and its that result. So that's why there is expression. Unless you observe the resultant phenomena, then the cycle of rebirth will turning around, will be turning around and around. If you can observe the resultant phenomena, such as seeing, hearing, etc., then the samsara will cease. That's the law. Once we were getting out of the mother's womb, we start to experience the senses, sight, sound, and so on. When we become mature throughout our life, all the time the phenomena are occurring to us. Unless we observe them, definitely the mental defilements will follow. So we have to observe them the moment they occur to us. So every notion, every moment of observation will contribute to liberation, to get out of the circle, to stop the circle. So if we can observe every moment, every second, then 1 minute 60 times to 1 hour 3,300 times, we will be able to note, and then we will be able to reduce the size of the samsara, the cycle of rebirth. So as long as we have the kilesa cycle turning around and around, then the karma, the volitional activities will thrive and we active. Then the samsara cycle never dries out. So when we can cut off the kilesa by observing the resultant phenomena such as seeing, hearing, then the kilesa vata cannot turn round and round. It will turn less and less, and until it will dry. Then when the kilesa vata dries out, there will be no resultant phenomena or no karma and no resultant cycle turning round and round. Thus, so and so condition stop and so effect disappear. So and so cause or disappear, so and so effect and no longer exist. That's the law. When there is no kilesa, then there is no karma. Where there is no karma, there is no mental resultant or mental or physical resultant phenomena. Thus, in this way, we can turn the cycle the other way around. So now Sayadaw would like to explain this point from the Abhidhamma point of view. So as an example, Sayadaw took the beautiful appearance. When we see someone very beautiful, then the beautiful appearance strikes to our eye, and then seeing consciousness takes place, which is follow the investigation mental state, mind movement, and the accepted mental state, and analyzing mental state, and companion mental state, and so on. So before we accept something, perceive something or someone as beautiful, if we can able to observe, seeing the moment it takes place, before the other mental state follow, then we can prevent the mental defilements from arising, from coming into our mind. Otherwise, we will be too late, and then the mental defilements coming into our mind. First of all, we see, and then we accept who she is. For example, the lady, who she is, how beautiful, how attractive she is. And we start to enjoy the seeing. We take delight in seeing her. So in this way we develop the sensual pleasure and craving. Later we want to be friendly with her, we want to be closer to her. Many kinds of the thinking, wandering thoughts coming in. So we go too far beyond the seeing. Thus we have to encounter the mental defilements. Of course, the problem is failure to observe the seeing. If we can succeed in observing the moment we see, there will be no room for the sensual desire. So the beautiful appearance is a striking phenomenon which strikes the eye, gaze, then the seeing consciousness takes place, and which is followed by the desire, sensual desire. We want to be desire to be friendly, desire to be closer to her, and so on. So we take delight in seeing her. In this way, the major defilements are produced more and more. So we don't see the fault on defects. Defects are the phenomena and the attachment to them. So the sensual desire, which is follow the hunger, we want to see all the time, and also very strong craving, upadana, take place. So in this way, through the seeing, the mental defilement coming in, we don't know this seeing, what we see are just mental and physical phenomena. That's ignorance. We take what we see, who we see, something or someone, wrong view, or the delusion or illusion. So as a result, we attach to so and so person. In this way, mental defilement coming in constantly and continuously. Similarly with the hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. So at the moment of seeing, the eye is the base phenomena, and the striking phenomena is visible form, and the seeing consciousness is ignition. So these are all the Rajata phenomena or the neutral phenomena, if they cannot be mentioned as a wholesome or unwholesome. If our sati mindfulness has upper hand over them, or if we take one step ahead for the mental defilement, the mindfulness can take one step ahead of the mental defilement, then we can stop the mental defilement coming in. So all we have to do is we must note the seeing, the moment we see. Then we can stop at the moment of seeing. We don't need to go beyond the seeing. We don't need to go the conceptual form or shape or the how beautiful and how attractive. So mind is stopped at the moment of seeing. So if we can observe seeing, the moment we see, then the seeing is just seeing, nothing else. So seeing constitutes the eye base, and the visible form, and the ignition of the seeing consciousness. So when we observe seeing, we can experience one of these three. Sometimes we may experience the eye when we note the seeing, or sometimes we may experience the appearance or visible form, sometimes the seeing consciousness itself. So when we observe seeing, we can experience one of these three. So these are all the phenomena, resultant phenomena. They cannot be mentioned as a wholesome or unwholesome, neutral state, neutral phenomena. So these are meditative objects for all of us to observe. So if we can observe this seeing, we can experience sometimes seeing consciousness, sometimes the visible form, the physical phenomena. Then we can really experience the mind and the body through phenomena. Thus we can leave no room for avoidance, ignorance and illusion. And no way for the craving and attachment to follow. And then no chance for the wrong view or the atta or ego. So in this way, the cycle of mental defilement stops there, which cannot follow any craving or attachment. So that's why the imasa this inside knowledge Upara takes place. Or imasa, and when this inside knowledge takes place, and then this mental defilement, the cycle of mental defilement stops there. That's the law or the Dhamma. So according to this law, when the mental defilement, the cycle of mental defilement stops, and there is no cycle of karma turning around and around. So karma cannot go any further. So when we are mindful, observing the phenomena occurring to us, there will be no chance for the evil thoughts, such as the covetousness, aversion, and thought of harmfulness, and so on. Then there will be no seed or the woeful life. So in this way, the bhavana, the development of the insight knowledge, can help us to stop the cycle of the rebirth. So ordinary wholesomeness, ordinary wholesome deeds are guided or generated by the Cetana volition. But whereas the bhavana, the development of insight knowledge, Vipassana bhavana, is guided by the wisdom or Paññā, which can lead the cessation of the rebirth, samsara. So that's the difference between the ordinary wholesomeness and the bhavana development wholesomeness. So in this way, when we cut off the cycle of the mental defilement, then the cycle of karma cannot turn around, and then no more resultant phenomena take place. In this way, we can attain the liberation. So the point is to observe whatever is occurring to us, so that we can stop the cycle of the rebirth from turning round and round. So otherwise, there will be chance for the thought of sensory pleasure and the mental defilement coming in. So through the mindfulness, we can make the kilesa moisture dry. So we need to be alert and active all the time. We must note all the phenomena occurring to us with the full faith and energy. So as mentioned last time, through the three stages of the energy of viriya effort, courageous effort, the initial effort, the progressive effort and the culminating effort. Through these three stages of effort, we have to raise up our mind to the higher and more refined level of the awareness until we attain the liberation. So time is up. Shall we continue this topic in detail tomorrow? That's all for today.